Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Bowhunter Die. It's been a couple of weeks since we've been on the air, but it is for good reason. Justin and I were spending quite a bit of time with all the bow hunting manufacturers at the 2016 ATA show. It's where we get to see all the greatest products that are going to be available to you to purchase soon.
Yeah, and for those of you guys that want to learn about all those new products, what you want to do, if you haven't already, is log on to bowhunting.com. There's a big ATA banner that's still up right now on the top of our website. You click on that. We have over 350 new product videos that we filmed from the show that are posted up there, along with a big photo gallery, multiple different blogs, including one that we just published the other night on what we thought were the best, coolest, most innovative products of the 2016 ATA show. So if you're a gear junkie and you want to learn what's new for this year, you definitely want to log on to bowhunting.com and check that out.
Now, as far as action, we always have action here on Bowhunter Die. We've got a lot of hunts scheduled here for you. The first one up is going to be Tom Alford, as he has one heck of a day in the woods. So take a look at this.
Looking at my number one hit lister out here, the big brow tine 10, he's standing there at about 150 yards out in that field. I knew tonight it was a long shot, but it's good to know that he's probably bedding to the west, and they're really liking this cut cornfield. That was 3 or 4 different bucks we saw tonight in the number one hit listers out there, so I'm gonna have to get a stand over there, but great information, great hunt. Bowhunter Die, baby. I do know there was a buck close. He was in there, I could hear him doing that buck growl. He snort wheezed, and then that's when that button buck came out of here, so he was in the cedar thicket, but he just wouldn't come out. He's probably in there with a doe. No reason to leave. So anyway, I'm gonna probably hit this stand first thing in the morning. I'm gonna give it a shot and maybe try to catch him back, coming back to bed. I almost think that when I came in here, I bumped him. It's hard to tell, but it sounded like deer running off, so maybe I can beat him to bed tomorrow. Till then, Bowhunter Die, baby. Alright, well, all set up, made it to the stand, got everything in the tree, ready to rock and roll. I'm hunting on the north end of my food plot. The deer have been spending a lot of time over there, but only at night because of all the construction that's going on to the south. So I'm hoping to catch these deer as they're coming back to bed. Or cruising. I just had a snort wheeze. Gotta go. Alright, well, I can see with binoculars out in the field. I do have a buck with a doe out there. That was a snort wheeze that I heard. Now he's moving her around and just pushed her into the brush. Hopefully they come this way. Here we go, baby. Bowhunter Die. Well, there's definitely some action going on over there. 2 deer just took off running 100 miles an hour. From what I could see through binoculars, one pretty decent buck and then another buck. And that's what I think those two were kind of going at it. There must be a doe over there. The last time that happened, I had tons of daylight pictures of all the big boys in that exact same spot, which is right underneath one of my other tree stands. But it's too hard to get into there on a food source in the morning if you know they're there. You know, that's what I like about this stand, is I can see over there, but I can't obviously get a shot, but I hope for them to come back this way. But holy cow, did those deer just take off.
Meh. Meh. Meh.
That was pretty awesome. They did everything perfect, running around, chasing, grunting. Wrong deer though. Ooh, but here comes a big one. Here comes a big one.
Meh. 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 Meh.
Oh man, you have no idea how awesome that was. Covered up in bucks right now. Just shot a really nice 8-pointer buck that I've had 3 encounters with this year. Smoked them too, man. Oh, that was awesome. I've never seen action like this. This is absolutely insane. Oh, and I tell you what, it felt awesome. Awesome to put a good shot on a nice buck, because I have not been shooting that good, and I smoked him.
It feels good. I feel like a new man. My confidence has been at an all-time low. October 24th, I shot the biggest buck I've ever shot at in my entire life. Scraped him across his brisket, didn't kill him. Neighbor, congratulations to him, just killed him on Sunday. Been an awesome morning, and it's been an extremely tough year. I think I've gone about 2 weeks straight every single day, and that's the biggest buck I've had encounters with all year, other than the big one. I mean, he's been in and around this farm. I've had him come through at dark. I had him come through the other day at about 35 yards. I just couldn't get the shot off. I don't quite know who the deer is. I think he's a 3-year-old. I think I have pictures of him from last year, and his rack just doesn't get very big, but He's a nice deer. He's meat in the freezer. I'm super excited. Made a clean kill. I still have the whole late season left and Wisconsin, so I am one pumped up hunter, about ready to send out a couple texts. So here we go, baby. Bow hunt or die. What an insane morning. I can't even tell you how crazy that's been. I just shot the biggest buck I've ever shot with a bow and arrow. My #1 hit list buck. Buck I called the Big Bowhunter 10. He is an absolute gorgeous deer. And he's dead right there. In the midst of all the chaos, as he's crawling away, I drop my arrows to the ground, trying to get a second arrow. I fly to the ground, I get down on the ground with him, and I finish him off. I put a perfect shot inside his boiler room. He is dead right there. Let me show you him. He is a beautiful giant buck. I've got to get down, collect my thoughts, get to the road. Justin's coming out. We'll do some recoveries. We're gonna have to call the boys in to bring the dump truck because we got a lot of deer to bring home today. I only got 1 arrow left in my quiver right now, but the Big 10's down. Justin just got here. Thank you for taking off work.
Just don't tell Todd.
We're gonna go get him. Don't tell Todd. All right. We got a little bit of a walk in. No trail job, but there he is, biggest buck I've ever shot with a bow and arrow. Right here, my #1 hit list here. Oh. Holy brow-tines, Batman. Gosh, he's so pretty. Okay, so we obviously knew where the first buck went, or the second buck went. Hit him in the spine, he went down on the spot. The first buck I shot was right over here. So we're gonna go to the point of impact. Hopefully start picking up blood. I know which direction he went, so let's go take a look. There's the start of some blood. He didn't make it very far. There he is. Buck #2 down. Buck #1. There he is. All right, well, what a day. November 11th, 2015, Veterans Day. You know, first of all, I want to thank the landowner for giving me exclusive permission to hunt this farm. I wouldn't be able to do it without his help. And I had one heck of a morning. You know, this first buck that came in was a deer that I was targeting. I'd had quite a few encounters with him this year already, just could never get a clean shot at him. and he stepped into range at about 22 yards after chasing a doe, and I made a perfect shot on him. Super excited. Then, you know, extra added bonus, here comes my number one hit lister, the big Bowhunter 10-pointer, deer that I actually have a shed to from last year. He's lived on the farm for 2 years, tons of trail camera footage, tons of trail camera video. Just a really, really big, nice deer, unique character, huge brow tines, just an awesome deer. My best buck that I've ever shot with a bow and arrow, and I'm just super excited. Tagged out here in Illinois. Bow hunt or die, baby.
Well, guys, as you saw, that was one heck of a hunt. You know what? The reality is you tune in to Bowhunter Die for one reason and one reason only. Number one, because we show it all. That was an incredible hunt that, you know what, a lot of people may not ever have the opportunity to do, is get 2 bucks in one sitting. Here in the state of Illinois, Tommy had that opportunity and was able to pull it off. Now, this wouldn't be the show that it is if it wasn't for the fact that we go over in detail what happened. Guys, I'd be sitting here lying to you if I told you that I've never shot a deer where I had to get down and take another shot. I mean, Justin, how about you and all your bow hunting career? Tell me a little bit about your situations.
Well, some guy in the forum last year came on and said that I spine shoot more deer than anybody in the world.
Whoa.
Which was an outlandish accusation because I've only spine shot 1 deer in my life. But fact of the matter is, it happens. You know, that deer came in and
The second deer.
The second deer, obviously, we're talking about it. And it's a shot, you know, in retrospect, Tommy knows he shouldn't have taken. But, man, I tell you what, if you put yourself in the shoes of a guy who, you know, hasn't shot a good buck in a couple of years, has been having a rough season, that's the number one hit list buck. He's never seen him on the hoof with the exception of one time, like a week earlier, at a distance. And you're at full draw at a deer that's 10 yards away, and he's 160 inches. There's not a lot of people that aren't going to let an arrow fly. Whether they want to admit it on a forum or on Facebook or whatever the case may be, you're hard-pressed when your finger's on that trigger to not pull it. And, man, I tell you what, Tommy got lucky, you know, was hitting that deer in the spine. Realistically, at that angle, I personally believe that, you know, if he wouldn't have spine shot that deer, chances of recovery probably weren't the best. But in the end, the deer's down. 2 bucks in one sit is a heck of a way to go from I haven't shot a buck at all to I'm now tagged out in the matter of 30 minutes.
Yeah, and you know, guys, I mean, the reality is we're bow hunters. I'm telling you right now, no matter how much we practice, no matter how much we do, we're going to be put in different positions. And of course, it's always about making the right call. Listen, we can sit here and beat up the situation that Tommy was in and maybe the shot that he took. The reality is he made the call, and what I really want to talk about more is the spine shot, because you know what, it has happened to me, and you know what, I'm going to be honest, I have maybe even blown through a whole thing of arrows in a quiver before, you know, when that has happened. I'm not going to sit here and lie to anybody. I've done it, and I'm sure the arrow manufacturers are like, that's great, right? But the reality is, you know what, if it does happen, you got to get down, you got to do the ethical thing, and you need to take care of business as quickly as possible, because we're bow hunters, and you know, and that's what you got to do.
Yeah, so I mean, in the end, as we saw, guys, a great hunt from Tommy. And I just, you know, think, you know, talking about the shot, because I'm sure all the YouTube fanatics out there are going to be leaving their little comments on the show. I mean, in the big scheme of things, you know, we learn from our experiences, right? And we grow as bow hunters. And the more that we're put into these situations and we make decisions, we can learn from them in the future. And I guarantee it's not something Tommy is going to do again. You know, so chalk it up to a learning experience and a great hunt and a very memorable season for him. So congratulations. And we're going to move on to another exciting and memorable hunt here with Paul Morrison as he tries to get it done from the ground out in Ohio. So let's check this out.
We're just now getting set up here in southeastern Ohio. We're going to try to shoot a doe off the ground or a monster buck if it comes in. We're going to do something a little bit different today. I'm I've been trying to shoot a doe in some really cool ways, like on a creek bed or over a decoy, or a couple different ways. I've had my opportunities over a decoy and I've passed them, but I have not had a chance on a creek bed. So we're trying something new today. We're going to try to prey on the curiosity of deer, and everybody knows that deer sometimes in certain situations are really curious. Well, today we're using a decoy, but we're not using a deer decoy. We're using a turkey decoy. So, if you're watching this, it's probably a pretty cool encounter, but we are using a turkey decoy to try to keep those deer looking at something that's not supposed to be there, and maybe the deer come in to investigate and I can get a shot at them. So that's what we're trying to do. We'll see if it works. We're going to set this turkey decoy right out here. We got this fence right in front of us. I grabbed a couple sticks, put them up here, a couple branches, grab some hay and some just of the grasses that are around here, broken off, set it up for a little bit better, sort of like a blind to protect us from deer. We got the turkey is about 27 yards, I believe 27 yards, so I'm hoping that the deer stay in between the turkey decoy and me, and maybe are paying attention to that turkey decoy. So we'll see if it works tonight. I'm hoping that the deer they should be coming from behind me out of this thick stuff, but I'm hoping that they come out towards the road, actually, believe it or not. Unfortunately, that's going to be it for tonight for me. We had some does that tried to come in tonight, and they didn't get past me enough to try to see the turkey decoy or get into the field, so unfortunately, but I could have shot them with the bow if I wasn't worried about getting them on camera. Behind me, they were about 25 yards, but that's not what I'm out here for. I'm wanting to try to get a big doe on film, coming into my turkey decoy, checking it out, try to kill it with curiosity. Alrighty guys, well, it is January 3rd and it's almost 4 o'clock right now. I decided to slip in and try one more of these on the ground hunts, trying to shoot one of these big does here that have been coming in the evening. We have beautiful weather for deer hunting, a little bit of breeze, spitting snow, really cold right now. So I'm hoping that I snuck in just in time, and maybe in the next couple minutes we can make it happen. I'm going to shut up because, like I said, it's almost 4 o'clock and they should be on their way out to this pasture field right here. So, well, there it is, the elusive Reinhardt turkey target / decoy. These dudes just came from across the road. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on, go jump in the woods. Look at that big doe right there. That is a huge doe. Comes another doe. That's gonna make the 11th. We've got 17 to 18 doe that are coming down into this thick bottom. Once they come into this bottom, I would say they're gonna make their way up into this hayfield. That snuck around, and they're out there eating in the hayfield. They just popped out. I'd say they're about 60 yards right now. it sounded like a good shot. It sounded like it went through the rib cage. I would say she's about at 35 yards. And I just held my pin just a little bit high. How cool did that work out? That was the hardest filmed deer hunt I've ever been a part of. The hardest film. 18 does came in. Oh my God. This is like a monster buck hunt for me. My adrenaline is pumping right now. This is so cool. Man. Can't believe that happened. I mean, I can believe it because that's what I was that's what I was hoping it would happen, but wow, that was hard. Alrighty guys, well, I rewound the footage. It looks like I hit her in a good spot. It really does. She ducked so far, and I knew she was gonna duck, so I aimed low on her. I knew I was gonna hit low. I'm gonna go back to the truck, gonna pack everything up, go back to the truck, and definitely give her some time, maybe an hour or so, and then we'll come back and we'll track the blood trail. All right, guys. Well, we just gave him about an hour, or gave this doe about an hour, and like I said, it looked like it was a good shot. It sounded good. She dropped an incredible amount, but I hit her good. I knew she was going to drop a little bit, but I didn't know she was going to drop that much. The only thing that worries me is the penetration, so we waited about an hour, hour and a half right now, but we're going to go to next to that turkey decoy target, and we're going to see what the blood looks like there, and then we'll follow that up to the fence row and then make a decision whether we're going to give her a little bit longer or not. But I think I made a good shot on her, really hoping anyway, and hopefully on the end of this blood trail there's a big nanny doe. So come with me and we'll see how this blood looks. Here's my arrow right here. Here's this blood right here. See all that? All right, guys, we made it about, I'd say 65 yards from where I shot her. Good blood the whole way. We're getting close to this fence row. I think she went across the fence row, but we're following blood, and we're getting close to this. She either went down towards what's the interstate, or she went into the woods. So we're getting close to, there's really good blood right here. I don't know if she turned and went. Here she skidded right here, look at this. That big blood there. Oh, there she is right there. She didn't make it out of the field. Let's go up and pick her up, see what she looks like. That's a big doe. You know what, she was, I hit her just a little bit farther back, but man, she bled good. That's a big doe. Awesome. Well, it couldn't have worked out any better here. Over the decoy, like I said, trying to get it done, and shot this big monster doe using her curiosity against her. So that is pretty cool, definitely. We'll get a tag on her, drag her back up, and get her to the butcher shop. So good hunt tonight. Seen a ton of deer, and it just happened to work out for this this big doe here from southeastern Ohio. Bowhunter die.
Well, Paul Morrison is officially the man. He accomplished what I have not been able to accomplish this year, which is shoot a doe from the ground without a ground blind in possibly the most unique way ever. Yeah, Todd wants his $100.
I even got my wallet. Just look at it, even a spot in his wallet, just waiting for a $100.
You got
bill.
enough hundreds in there. What do you need another one for? Yeah, right. So that was one of definitely the most unique hunts I've ever seen as far as using a Reinhardt turkey target as a decoy to decoy in a deer, but as we saw, his plan worked.
Paul, every time I watch you, I'm just smiling. I enjoy watching your hunts. It's just great. I mean, how can you not sit there and be like, man, this guy is on fire?
Yeah,
He's awesome.
Paul's the man. Another great season from him. Guys, the last hunt we've got for this week is Dan Richardson, who's been having a heck of a rough year down there in Indiana. His deer numbers just aren't what they have been in the past. He's had some good encounters, but hasn't been able to get the deal done until now. So let's check it out.
Good morning, it's December 13th, 61 degrees out here in southern Indiana. Got a nice breeze though, it makes it feel cooler, about a 10 to 15 mile an hour breeze. I think I'm gonna stay in here till noon. I'm back in the same spot where I seen the bucks last weekend, and then got a bunch of trail cam videos of bucks cruising around here when I'm working or not here, so I got that non-typical on game cam video. Right now he's my number one. I'm hoping he comes back like he did the other day. He came in at 10:45 in the morning on a Friday when I was at work. I think I'm gonna stay in here till noon. Some bad news is though, when I walked out yesterday evening, a truck met me on the road, got to talking to me, and he ended up killing my number one buck twister back in November with a muzzleloader. And that dude had ballooned up. I mean, he was a stud. So, no more chasing Twister, no more looking for his sheds, scratching him off the list. But hey, there's always going to be another one, and I congratulated the hunter, and I was happy for him. It's just the way it is. I think I finally killed my first deer of the season, and the season's almost over. That doe come into my right on the other side of a hump and up against the high wall, and finally turned and came smack dab in front of me, 18 yards broadside. I'm not sure, I looked at the footage. The arrow was really hanging out when she ran off. I think I may have punched the offside shoulder, maybe got some bounce back. I hit her right where I was aiming. I seen her go down, and she was struggling, and she got up. I seen her take off, and it sounded like she crashed again. So it was straight up 9 o'clock when I shot her. Got another arrow ready, got another tag in my pocket. I think I'm gonna wait maybe an hour and a half. I can't wait too long because it's warm outside, but still looking for a buck right now. So hopefully she's down, not too far back in there. Bowhunter die, baby. Been sitting here thinking about my season as a whole. Man, it's been a tough one. These giant tracts of timber are so hard to hunt. You've got to learn that terrain, and you got to learn how to use it. I wasn't ready for this season. I mean, I was ready, but I wasn't ready for what this season threw at me. My deer numbers were way down. The weather, I think, played a big factor in it. The first half of my season was terrible. I haven't seen a third of the deer that I normally do. Second half is actually going better, and I'm actually starting to see some bucks finally. first half of the season on the does, I was turning some down because it was either too hot and I didn't want to mess with it. Thought I had plenty of time to do it, or they had fawns and I didn't want to shoot them. And then I finally had a chance her a while back, and I grazed the back of that one doe and gave her a haircut. And that really got me down, kind of took my confidence down a little bit. It's back up now. I'm real happy to get that deer. Looking for a buck. Still got a little bit of time, but not much. Just hope it happens. Well, that was kind of unexpected. I didn't go 5 feet. I'm already finding pretty good blood, so that's a good sign. I think I'm gonna go ahead around over that shelf along the high wall where I seen her crash the first time. That's got bubbles in it. Makes me feel better. I see her. She didn't go very far. All right. Doe on the ground. Not a giant trophy doe like Todd and Justin's, but a medium size, really good eating doe. This is gonna really be nice in the freezer. It's gonna taste really good. I watched that footage probably 6 times after I shot it. And every time I watched it, showed my arrow hitting exactly where I wanted. But when I started trailing her, and I found the arrow, I got worried. It looked like it almost had stuck in her shoulder. But normally if it sticks in the shoulder, you're not gonna find that end of it. But wouldn't really find many bubbles in the blood until right there at the end. And she probably went maybe 85, 90 yards at the most. But I'm real happy. It's getting warm. I'm gonna have to get her out of here and get her taken care of. There's gonna be rain here about an hour and a half, so I gotta get going. So in the meantime, Bowhunter die.
Well, luckily for Dan, he finally had a doe come in close to range there and he got a nice shot on it. I mean, you know what, guys, you shoot an animal and you miss it. There's no question about it. You go home and what do? You break the bow out of the case, you start letting arrows fly. I mean, it absolutely wears on your confidence. I don't care who you are, how much you shoot, whether you're a professional archer. When you start not hitting your mark, you start getting a little nervous.
Yeah, well, and it's one of those things that just compounds. So the next time you go to shoot an animal, you're nervous, you're worried about it, and maybe you make another bad shot, which just makes it worse, and it just can spiral out of control. Fortunately for Dan, he was able to recover from that earlier, miss, and put a perfect shot on that doe, and finally get some meat in the freezer down there in Indiana. So congratulations to him. I know it was a tough season, but he stuck it out, and in the end was able to harvest a deer.
That wasn't just a deer, that was a trophy doe. I mean, he actually says at one point he doesn't think it was a monster. It looked big to me.
Every doe is a trophy to Todd.
That's right.
Unless it's a button buck.
Yeah, no button bucks.
So guys, that's all the hunting action we've got for this week's show. This week we're extending out the trophy photos. We got a whole bunch of them here.
Just so Justin doesn't get any hate mail.
So people stop sending us hate mail and swearing at us. So here we go, guys. Here's the trophy photos for this week.
Dustin Mills.
Garrett Fox.
Isaac Cleary.
Joey Ramirez.
Josh Green.
Caleb Grice.
Carl Williams.
Frank Potter.
Jerry Bloomberg.
And Tyler Anderson. Hey, congratulations, everybody. Those are some great trophies. We still have one episode left of this season 6 of Bowhunter Die. So if you guys want to get your trophy photos sent in, we'll do another extended trophy edition next week to end the season. So Todd, what do you want to say here at the end, nearing the end of season 6?
I really am hoping Justin does not shoot a doe because I want that $100 bill mounted on the wall. I am mounting that baby.
Well, I'm gonna try to shoot a doe. My stealth cam is actually texting me while we're in here that the does are out the last 3 nights in front of my spot. So if my wife will let me sneak
No, I'm
away,
calling Amy. I may
please,
pay Amy some money.
on Saturday, so I'm gonna try to sneak. She doesn't know about the money part of the bet, so nobody told my wife I actually bet money. She thinks it's just a fun bet. But speaking of mounted on the wall,
Hey,
Todd's
that's right.
showing off his new mount of the wide buck that he killed back here. Todd's always wanted to, show off, try to make me look bad.
Yeah, no, I
So
didn't.
he's got his mount hanging in the wall. Mine's not done yet, of course.
And it definitely was not 28 inches. Okay, I may have overshot my mark. I don't think I said 28, but I did
You
say
said like 27 and
Oh,
3/4 or something.
I was off. Okay, it's
Off?
25 inches.
It's 24 and 3/8.
He doesn't even know how to do 1/8 and 3/8. But he's got his ruler's got the little markings on there. So anyhow,
All rulers have little markings on their
no,
graph.
he's got the one
That's
where
how
it's
you
actually
tell the
written on
eights.
there.
Anyways, guys, that's all the hunting action we've got for this show. I know here in Illinois, we still have one more gun season this weekend in a lot of the counties. It is the second part of the late CWD season. So if you're in one of those counties, remember to wear your orange. And I guess we'll see you guys back here next week on the final episode of season 6.
Yeah.
We got 2 more great bucks coming. We got Dustin DeCrew shot one, and Clinton Fawcett also shot one. Both late season bucks, food plots down there in central Illinois. So definitely check back next week. We're going to end the season on a high note.
Well, and just remember too, guys, I mean, just because we're ending our season, I know for some of you out there, some of your seasons are just beginning. I mean, I talked to one of our field staffers there, Daryl Bell, and I mean, he's just getting fired up, man. I mean, he's still got deer that he's chasing. He's still got some time to hunt, so.
Well, wherever he's hunting is where we should be going because
should
our
be
season
heading.
is about over. So that's all we got for this week, guys. We will see you next week right here on Bowhunter Die.
For more exciting action, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and receive live updates from our team members as well as the latest happenings in the bow hunting and archery world. Be sure to share your photos, stories, and experiences as well. And don't forget to pick up your official bowhunting.com and Bowhunter Die gear by visiting bowhunting.com/gear. We have a full selection of hats, shirts, decals, wristbands, and much more. You know what? Just punch me real quick. What are you gonna buy? What are you seeing?
What am I going to buy? I don't know what I'm going to
You
buy.
just said you were gonna buy something while you were watching that turkey little footage here.
I don't know what to say because
You
it's
said
like,
you were gonna buy that thing.
it's not a new thing, and I didn't even see it at the ATA show.
Probably not.
Those of you guys that actually, go on to bowhunting.com.
Whoa! Actually, what's this actually?